This time I'm really gonna kick it. I'm gonna kick the habit. This is the end of all my faults! Ugh! Ugh! Ugh!
Welcome to your daily crypto news. First things first, guys, go ahead, hit that like button. The more you guys like these videos, the more people are going to be able to see what we're doing. We've seen an increase on viewership on our channel, so we just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching our videos. We're trying to make our videos bigger, better, the whole 9 yards. So you guys stay with us and we'll get this thing right. So I thought the Charlie Brown video was an excellent video to display where we're at right now. The thing that really gets Charlie Brown is that every time Lucy tricks him into thinking that she's not going to pull the football away, which seems to be what Bitcoin and the altcoins just continue to show us. What happens is, I believe, is we hear people talking about, Bitcoin may go down to $1,000, maybe $3,000, maybe down to $5,000 before it finally corrects and starts climbing again. None of these technical analysts that I've seen talking about Bitcoin dipping down that low believe it's going to stay down there. They all believe, from what I've seen, that it's going to go back up very high. However, they do believe that it could continue to dip much, much, much further than it is right now. However, all it takes is one good day like we had yesterday, and then we just all seem to forget what is probably inevitable. Now, don't hear me wrong. I do not want Bitcoin to dip any further. I hope that maybe at some point it's going to let us kick the football and maybe all the way to the moon. But for now, we have a day on the markets where everything has dropped again. And I was very excited to talk to you guys yesterday about how the market seemed to, we saw bigger gains than we had been seeing. We had some coins that were in the 20%, 30% range. But now today, everything's down in between like 8.5%, like basically about 10%, 10 to 15%, some falling harder than others. So a quick perusal onto CoinMarketCap shows us that the market cap is a measly $257 billion. Bitcoin dominance is at 45.1%. I've seen some people talking about how they believe that, the altcoins won't really rise until Bitcoin hits about 50%. I've seen other people that, say it needs to get lower. So I don't really know what the truth is. If you think that where Bitcoin dominance needs to be for the alts to start to rise, go ahead, drop us a comment below and let us know. So a quick look at the top 10. Bitcoin down 8%, Ethereum 8.5%, Ripple down almost 10%, Bitcoin Cash down 8.5%, Litecoin, big drop today to about 11.5%, EOS 6.5%, one of the lowest droppers in the top 10, or the lowest dropper. Cardano down 10.5% after it had an amazing day yesterday. Stellar down almost 11%. Neo down 12%. IOTA down 10%. So everything, like I said, is dropping. So let's look and see if there are any winners of the day. Zcoin is up 23.96%. iOS token that we talked about last week, Internet of Services token is what that stands for. It's up 16%. I think that's a good coin. While this is not financial advice, it may be one that you want to look into because I think it's going somewhere. Ontology up 7%, Bitcoin Diamond up 1.8%, and Dragon Chain up just barely. But of course, that was after a 38% increase yesterday. So the biggest losers of the day: Lisk down 17%, Veritasium down 16.5%, Syndicator down 16.46%, VeChain down 16%, Nano down 14, almost 15%, Verge down 14%. So we're going to talk about Verge. Verge is a very sketchy coin, in my opinion. I think that is a popular opinion, actually. I was going to say that's not a popular opinion. I think that people outside of the Verge community are not crazy about Verge. They've had a lot of sketchy marketing tactics. We talked about it last week on a video, or maybe it was almost 2 weeks ago now, about Verge and them trying to get their community to pump their coin for their, mysterious announcement about a partnership that still has not been released. So the big news about Verge today is that they have been hacked. Their mining pool or their mining system was hacked. Someone was actually able to mine 1 block per second. Verge said on a tweet that the hack lasted about 3 hours, but we have other people giving conflicting information saying it went on for over 13 hours. There are other people saying that the glitch or the improperly coded code that was able to be hacked has still not been fixed, and it could possibly still be ongoing. So it's a scary proposition. If you own Verge right now, it's hard to really tell the impact that the mining fiasco, the hack, has had on Verge, because everything is down so far. But you saw a lot of coins were down between 8 and 10%, and Verge is up 14%. But of course, it was also just on a pump. So it's really hard to say what has affected Verge right now. But I do know that this is not good news for Verge, that their code was left with a backdoor that someone could get into it. And, I think it just really speaks to, here's a concern I have about Verge. It's a privacy coin, right? That means that it's supposed to be totally anonymous, and with these anonymous coins, they need super protection and privacy around them to keep them private. However, it just seems like the Verge team doesn't prioritize security like they should. So we have a coin in Verge that has been hacked, and their developers seem to be just blaming other people and minimizing it and not embracing it. If you remember, maybe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, their Twitter got hacked. And I know it's a totally separate kind of attack where someone, maybe does a phishing scam or some kind of scam to break into someone's Twitter, as opposed to being able to hack into mineable blocks. I understand it's different, but it just speaks to me of the lack of care from Verge, if you ask me. And that's why I don't own it. And if you want to own it, then that's on you. This is not financial advice. Maybe you buy it, maybe it moons, maybe it doesn't. But I just know that Verge is not the kind of coin. I just don't believe that their team is serious. I don't think they're serious enough for me to want to buy into what they are as a privacy coin. And according to a Reddit post that I've been reading, there's supposedly a lot of censorship in the Verge community. I'm not really, obviously, too big in Verge. I was an owner at one time. But I think that people are saying if you say something negative about Verge in the subreddit, or if you say something about it negative in their Telegram group, that you'll get banned. And to me, that's absolutely insane, right? So cryptocurrency, we're trying to decentralize currency, but it really goes further than that. It's really trying to decentralize control and power from a few large companies, from banks, from whoever it may be. And it just seems to me that when you are a cryptocurrency and you're censoring people that have concerns about what you're doing, you are now taking the role of those people and those businesses and those companies that really cryptocurrency is trying to destroy. But, it's a real shame, because I feel like the Verge technology itself is pretty good. It just seems like to me that they've got some lazy and egotistical developers. I guess you could say that they're like almost on the verge of something big, but they just can't pull it together. So we've got 2 kind of other cool stories that I want to talk about. One is that I know just the other day we talked about how India, I believe, is a barrier to Bitcoin adoption on the eastern side of the world. But it depends on how you look at it. I think it's a positive story. I'm a big altcoin guy. I like Bitcoin. I think that it's great. But I think that a lot of these other coins and tokens offer more than what Bitcoin does. But of course, Bitcoin is the biggest, so you got to respect it and things like that. So the story is that in India, Ethereum is now the king of crypto. So out of all internet searches for cryptocurrencies in India, 34.6% of them were Ethereum. 29.9% was Bitcoin. Bayucoin is 21.4%. To me, that really just sounds like some advice I would give someone. Shoo, you ain't got no money? Shoo, buy you coin. Where's Bonquiqui when you need her? We got a complicated white paper up in here. So after that, Dash, Neo, Litecoin, Ripple, Monero all take up some space. And, I think that this is a good story. A lot of people think that the flippening will occur one day where one coin becomes more dominant than Bitcoin. I really think the best thing would be if they all kind of split up, not evenly, of course, but if all of the top 20 coins all held, a good stake in the cryptocurrency market, as they do now, but, where their percentages are higher, where maybe instead of Bitcoin being at 45%, it's at 8%, and then several other of the cryptocurrencies are at 8%. So I think that would probably be good. So I like this story, but, it also doesn't say that more people own Bitcoin in India than Ethereum. So I don't really know what this says. It's just kind of a interesting story. I hope you liked it. One last story to look at. The state of West Virginia in the United States is looking to implement blockchain-based online voting. So, man, I really like this story. When you think about blockchain and the applications and use cases for it, this sounds like a perfect one. I think that, if voting were on the blockchain and we had social media on the blockchain, which is another video I'm going to do here in the next couple days where I talk about social media blockchain, then, we wouldn't have the problems that we had in the United States election in 2016 because, the questioning of the voting and the questioning of the election and the questioning of the tallies, could have been solved if these were all on the blockchain. Because there's no way to scheme or scam information on, several different nodes that store the information as opposed to one central location. And if you take it a step further, and if you say, man, if we had blockchain social media like Steemit or something similar instead of Facebook, then these trolls, these Russian trolls that started all of these accounts and tried to influence the election wouldn't have been able to do it. So that's the beautiful thing I think about where social media is going is if you think about how Twitter, and I want to save a lot of this for my social media video I'm going to do, but like Twitter, you have the blue check mark. What does that mean? It means someone's verified. But the only issue with that is that, only celebrities or brands can get that blue check mark. And I don't know the exact parameters on how they figure out who can have one and who can't. I've seen people with pretty small followings have them. But wouldn't it be cool if everybody had a blue check mark so you knew who everybody was? I think that is the best way to do social media going forward. If you are a troll, I'm sorry. If you like being so anonymous that you want to have an anonymous social media account, then, I don't think you're going to like where blockchain technology is taking us. So maybe there will be places for you to still thrive. But if you want to be on social media and you want to be able to connect with people and build relationships, whether it be for your business or your brand or whatever it may be, then in the future you're going to have to be verified. So West Virginia's idea on this is awesome. I really love it so much. And it takes it further than just the voting tallies being locked on the blockchain. So it says that Voats, a Boston-based startup, is developing a solution to allow deployed military members to submit their vote using their mobile phones from anywhere in the world. Blockchain technology will guarantee that each vote is securely encrypted and stored. So that's really killing a lot of birds with just one stone. So not only are they certifying the tallies, but they're making it easier for people to have absentee ballots. And so they don't actually have to fill out a paper ballot and send it in. If they have a mobile phone that's connected to the blockchain, then there's no reason for them to send it in any other way other than digitally. So I definitely think that's where voting is going, is all digital. I think that we're a ways away. We're several election cycles from it actually happening, but I do think that voting on the blockchain is definitely the future. So, hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope if you're in the Verge community, I hope you understand that I think I've got legitimate concerns with your community, and if you are a big fan of Verge and you want to, go against something I said, or you want to correct something I said, or you want to defend Verge, I mean, I'm willing to listen. I don't hate Verge for the sake of hating it. I just have some concerns. So if you want to tell me anything, or you want to say anything to our community here, go ahead and drop us a comment and let us know. We'd be happy to respond to you. And if you have a question, just go ahead and drop it. So thanks for watching our videos. Keep staying tuned for more stuff to come. We are going to be doing a video on Storage Coin very soon. We're going to be releasing that. As well as I mentioned yesterday, we've got the BitBoy music video coming out probably by the end of next week. Don't hold me to that though, but I'm working pretty hard on it right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was your daily crypto news.